Happiness, it's what we all crave, isn't it? That elusive feeling of pure joy and contentment, a state of lasting joy, contentment and fulfillment. We dream of a life where happiness is a constant companion. We chase it relentlessly, believing that once we achieve it, life will fall perfectly into place. We set goals, make plans, and strive for that perfect moment. But here's the paradox. The more we chase happiness, the more elusive it seems to become. It slips through our fingers like sand, like a mischievous butterfly. It flits away just as we reach out to grasp it. The harder we try, the further it seems to fly. This is the crux of the happiness paradox. The pursuit itself can become a source of stress and anxiety. It suggests that actively pursuing happiness can be counterproductive, leading us down a path of frustration and disappointment. We become lost in the quest. It's like searching for your lost keys. The more frantically you look, the less likely you are to find them. The more desperate the search, the more elusive the goal. Similarly, when we become fixated on achieving happiness, we often overlook the simple joys that life has to offer. We miss the beauty in the everyday moments. The reason for this paradox lies in the nature of happiness itself. It's not a tangible object we can possess. Happiness is not a destination, it's a journey. It's found in the experiences and moments that make up our lives. It's not something you achieve, it's something you experience along the way. It's in the laughter shared with friends, the peace of a quiet moment. When we view happiness as a goal to be attained, we set ourselves up for disappointment. We create an ideal that reality can never match. We begin to measure our lives against an unrealistic ideal, constantly striving for something that seems perpetually out of reach. The key is to embrace the journey, to find joy in the present. The relentless pursuit of happiness can lead us into a trap of our own making. We often find ourselves on a never-ending quest, constantly seeking the next big thing that we believe will finally bring us joy and contentment. We become so focused on what we lack that we fail to appreciate what we have. This tunnel vision can blind us to the simple pleasures and meaningful moments that are already present in our lives. We chase after external rewards, wealth, status, possessions, believing that they hold the key to lasting happiness. The allure of material success and social recognition can be powerful, but it often leads us astray. However, research has shown that these external factors have a surprisingly small impact on our overall well-being. True happiness is more deeply rooted in our internal state and our relationships with others. One of the reasons for this is hedonic adaptation. This concept explains why the thrill of new experiences and possessions tends to diminish over time. This psychological phenomenon refers to our tendency to adjust to new circumstances, both positive and negative. No matter how exciting or disappointing an event may be, we eventually return to a baseline level of happiness. When we experience something pleasurable, our brains release dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with reward and pleasure. This chemical reaction is what gives us that initial rush of joy. However, over time, our brains become accustomed to this dopamine rush, and the initial pleasure we felt begins to fade. This is why the excitement of new experiences often doesn't last as long as we hope. This is why the excitement of a new car, a new job, or even a new relationship tends to wear off after a while. We quickly adapt to these changes, and they become part of our new normal. Another pitfall of the pursuit of happiness is that it can lead to social comparison. We measure our own worth against the perceived success and happiness of others. In our hyper-connected world, we are constantly bombarded with images and stories of other people's seemingly perfect lives. Social media amplifies this effect, making it easy to fall into the trap of comparison. We see their exotic vacations, their loving relationships, their fulfilling careers, and we can't help but compare ourselves. This can create a false sense of inadequacy and dissatisfaction. This constant comparison can leave us feeling inadequate and dissatisfied, even if our own lives are perfectly fine by objective standards. It's important to remember that what we see online is often a curated highlight reel, not the full picture of someone's life. So if actively pursuing happiness is not the answer, what is? The answer, it seems, lies in cultivating contentment. Contentment is a state of peaceful acceptance of the present moment without the need for things to be different. It's about finding joy in the ordinary, appreciating the small things, and focusing on what truly matters. Research has shown that people who cultivate contentment tend to be happier and healthier overall. They experience lower levels of stress and anxiety, have stronger immune systems, and even live longer. This is because contentment is associated with a number of positive psychological traits such as gratitude, optimism, and self-compassion. One of the key neurochemicals involved in contentment is serotonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that plays a crucial role in regulating mood, sleep, and appetite. Low levels of serotonin have been linked to depression, anxiety, and other mood disorders. Fortunately, there are a number of natural ways to boost serotonin levels, such as exercise, spending time in nature, and practicing mindfulness. Our expectations play a powerful role in our experience of happiness. They shape our perceptions and influence our reactions to the events in our lives. If we set our expectations too high, we are setting ourselves up for disappointment. When reality doesn't match our lofty hopes, the gap can lead to feelings of frustration and sadness. On the other hand, if we have low expectations, we may miss out on opportunities for joy and fulfillment. We might not strive for our dreams, fearing that we won't achieve them. The key is to find a balance between realism and optimism. By setting realistic yet hopeful expectations, we can navigate life's ups and downs more effectively. It's important to acknowledge that life is full of ups and downs and that challenges and setbacks are an inevitable part of the human experience. Embracing this reality helps us build resilience. However, it's equally important to maintain a sense of hope and possibility, believing that good things are possible and that we have the power to shape our own destinies. This mindset can propel us forward even in tough times. One way to manage our expectations is to practice gratitude. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we can cultivate a more positive outlook. Gratitude is the act of consciously focusing on the good things in our lives, both big and small. It shifts our perspective and helps us appreciate the present moment. When we take the time to appreciate the simple pleasures, a warm cup of coffee, a beautiful sunset, the laughter of a loved one, a kind word from a friend, we begin to see the richness in our everyday lives. We shift our attention away from what we lack and towards what we have. This shift in focus can transform our experience of life. This simple act of appreciation can have a profound impact on our overall well-being, boosting our mood, strengthening our relationships, and increasing our resilience in the face of adversity. By embracing gratitude, we can navigate the complexities of life with a more balanced and hopeful perspective.